Hey guys, welcome to our show. Tonight, I know it's really late, sorry about that, but we are going to show you how we make our homemade salsa. So what I've done already is we've got some of the vegetables roasting in the oven. I'm going to go ahead and pull those out. Oh gosh, can't see. So I've got tomatoes, onions, and a variety of peppers. What we have to do first is peel and core our tomatoes. I am going to let DJ do that because it's super hot. So I recommend wearing gloves or anything you have to get the skins off. We're also going to cut the cores out. So if you want to peel them and hand them to me, and then I will core it. I've got one right here.
Scalpel.
Okay. So, maybe I can see again. All right, there we go. So what I did is I chopped up our onions. I'm gonna just throw those right into my pot, my stock pot. They're also blazing hot. Here. Okay. I did 3 small onions. We have about about 5 pounds of tomatoes. And we're going to just put those into a stock pot for right now. Everything's really hot, so I've had them roasted in the oven just to get them soft. They are going to cook in the stock pot for a little while, but onions take forever to cook, and that's the best way to get the skin off of the tomato. I don't enjoy peeling cold tomatoes, so if you just roast them in the oven, I had it at 350. Probably put them in there for about 15 minutes. And they'll be nice and soft. All right, so he's got my tomatoes going for me. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna chop these and cut the core out of them before I put them into our stock pot. You know what, I might just use my apple thing now. Yowzers, this is still super hot. It's not going to be pretty. It's actually very messy as well. Doesn't really matter because you're going to chop them up in the end. This is a little time consuming, but the end result is worth it. We love salsa. I'm just going to dump this. I'm going to use my apple core. Hopefully it'll be a time saver. I think he's struggling over there, so I'm going to help out. Thank you. Ouch. Okay, they're still hot. I've got this handy dandy apple core thing. I'm just going to try to see if it will take out the core of my tomato as well. It's a little soft, so I don't know if it's going to work. I'm going to try it from the bottom. There we go. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so I had to turn my tomato upside down to get the core out. But it's perfect now. And then we're just going to put our potatoes right into the pot. Doesn't matter what they look like. Like we said, we're going to be mincing this up in our food processor when we're done. Ouch. Pan's hot. The good thing about salsa is we're actually going to can these as well, but you can make as many different variations as you'd like. So once you have the base set up and all of your ingredients cooked, you can then modify it to your liking. You can make it hotter, spicier, or mild. You can add different kinds of fruits and vegetables. I know a lot of people like mango salsa, or even black bean and corn salsa. There's a lot of different things you could do with salsa, but today we are just making, well, actually we're making 2 versions because DJ doesn't like to taste things. Burns his mouth up. I would die if I ate any of the stuff he puts in his. All right. Ouch. You don't don't want to let these cool when you're trying to peel them, because then it defeats the purpose of actually cooking them to get the skin off. So that's why it's just super hot. But we'll get it done. I should have counted the tomatoes, but we did actually weigh them and weighed it out to about 5.5 pounds. I buy a pre-made seasoning mix. You could certainly use your own, but it's just much faster and saves on all the ingredients. You get it at the store. I got this at Walmart. It's always in the canning section. It's only a couple of bucks, but we'll be able to make, oh gosh, I'd say 6 to 10 jars of salsa out of this batch. Yeah, the apple core is definitely the way to go. You want all the juices. You can also buy canned tomatoes if you don't have fresh tomatoes. We got these at Huber's when we went over the weekend. So they're homegrown, but not my home. I was unsuccessful this year at growing anything. Well, I had a couple things, fruit, but no tomatoes. Thank you. Just trying to get some of these skins peeled off here. I personally like a hot salsa, but I like to be able to taste the rest of my food or the chips. So today we're only going to be using jalapenos in our recipe, my recipe. DJ is going to put all kinds of stuff in a couple of jars for him. I'm using a paring knife to help get the skin off, just simply because it's burning hot and I don't want to burn my fingers. I only grabbed one pair of gloves. Let's see here. Thank you. Oh, holy cow, it's hot. All right, let's go ahead and get these chopped up. Ouch. Okay. There's so many different things you can use this salsa for also. You know, we love Mexican food, so you can put it into queso and make queso with it. You can actually put salsa with chicken breast into your crock pot and cook it that way. It makes a great like fajita mix. Instead of buying, you know, the packaged taco seasoning or fajita seasoning. It just gives it all that flavor, and then you don't have to add your tomatoes and onions. Alright, we are just about done with our tomatoes here. This one didn't cut all the way through, so I'm just going to help it out with my knife a little bit. Ouch. Alright. Yeah, this one got a little mush on me, so I just want to make sure I get all of that core out of there. So you don't want to eat that. Okay. Too soft on that side. Okay. Come on. Ouch. Well, that one's going to be a pain in the butt. I'm just going to cut this off. Out. There we go. Perfect. Last one. There we go. in the back here, I don't know if you can see it, we've got our canning pot going. We're just getting the water ready. We're gonna have our jars later. I don't think, probably won't record that right at the moment, just because it's gonna take a little while. So we've got all of our tomatoes chopped up, pitted, all the skin taken off. We've got our onions down in there. Now we're gonna do the peppers. Again, you can do it to your taste. I like spicy, but we don't want to overpower it. So these are really tiny. These are homegrown jalapenos. So I'm gonna chop them up, but probably only gonna use about 6 of these little guys. I don't want it to be too spicy. My kids do love salsa, so I want them to be able to eat it as well. You can always add, but you can't take away. How many was that? That was 3. You see how they get blistered like that? That's good. It just brings out the flavor. Just chopping them up a little bit, just to help spread out the heat while we're cooking it. All right, one more. They're little. Okay, perfect. So now I'm going to put this on the stove. I've got my salsa mix. Just going to put that right into my vegetable and fruit mixture. The tomato is a fruit. We're also going to add salt and pepper and some minced garlic. We just kind of use about, I'd say it's about a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons. And then our salt. None of my vegetables were seasoned, but the seasoning packet does have a lot of different things in it. So I don't want to get too carried away. We're going to continually taste it. But so now we've got that all mixed up. I'm just going to give it a stir. I'm going to let this cook for at least 10 minutes just to get all those flavors incorporated. Make sure that all the vegetables get a little bit tender. You do want a little bit of crunch, I do to my vegetables, but you don't want it raw either. So I'm going to bring it to a boil, reduce it to a simmer, and let it stew for 10 minutes before I put it in my food processor. All right, let me just show you what this looks like here. Sorry about that. And there you have it. We'll be back in a few minutes once it's all cooked and we're ready to start canning it. Thanks for watching.